Jack. When I arrived the end of November, I literally didn't know a soul. I'd never been anywhere before, and I had no idea where I should go or what I should do. Talk about being a stranger in a strange land. Try arriving in the middle of a bustling hospital and not knowing a single word of the native tongue. I grokked nothing. Fortunately for me, Ada and Libby took me under wing. The welcome I received was overwhelming, and I don't know what I would have done without them. Looking back, I guess I should have been a little skeptical, a bit more reserved, but their welcome was as open-armed as anyone could ever ask, and I just accepted the situation as natural. 2.5 years later, I'm a lot less naive than I was then, and I realize how lucky I was to have gone home with the people I did rather than someone who didn't have my best interests in mind. It was tough being completely helpless and not speaking the language that Ada and Libby shared. My not knowing the lingua franca kept communication pretty basic between the three of us, and to make matters even worse is the simple fact there are plenty of times when I don't know what I want myself, so communicating my desires is pretty hit or miss. In my new environment, I found myself crying a lot, and when I say crying, I mean wailing. In retrospect, it's a bit embarrassing, but hey, there it is. Ada and Libby call each other by a lot of different names, and they have different names for me as well. Son, John, John Francis, Jack, Sweetie, the list is long, and I just have to play it by ear. When I first moved in, they used to get right in my face when they spoke to me, so it was usually pretty clear when I was the one being spoken to, but still, what's up with all the names? Turns out the house they brought me home to was modest, but since I only had the hospital nursery to compare it to, I just figured our house was like everybody else's. I mean, who am I to know what kind of living accommodations most people have in the heartland of Iowa? In any case, the three of us came into this little 3-bedroom and were greeted by Tom, someone named Fabulosa, and a really frenetic chick named Kesa. With a name that sounded like cheese, I thought maybe she had a terrible sense of humor, but it turns out Kesa is one of the finest friends a guy could ask for. Up till this point, I'd only hung out with people who looked a lot like me. Same skin color, similar shape, pretty homogeneous group of folks in the middle of Iowa, but these three were not cut from the same cloth. 2 of them were really dark, black I'd say, and one was deep brown. One of the black ones and the brown one were shaped the same, but the other black one, Kesa of course, looked a little bit like Tom and Fabulosa, but was just different. I'm not sure how to explain it, but Kesa was the one who looked the least like anybody else in the household. Friendly sort, just different. So Ada and Libby bring me home, we go in and I meet the crew. Tom and Fabulosa are a bit standoffish, but Kesa is right up in my face. A big, friendly Iowa twister who demands a lot of attention. Ada pushes her away and tells her to back off, and I'm glad because I'm starting to get a bit upset with all the stuff going on around me, and I'm glad when just the three of us go to a room and Libby asks, "So, how do you like it? This is your room." I don't know how to respond. I've never had a room of my own, and here these guys are just handing me one and welcoming me with open arms. I'm still feeling a little tentative, but so far this being born thing has gone pretty well. If this is what life is going to be like, then I think I'm definitely going to be glad to be here. Of course, as I said, that was over 2 years ago, literally a lifetime. As I just celebrated my 2nd birthday back in November, I've learned a lot since then, grown a lot too, and I hope to share some of my life experiences with you. Just bear in mind that everything isn't arco de iris and mariposas. There's heartache in this world as well.